Hi everyone, welcome to Fearless Gray. So did you take a look at my warning for our show? Yes, we have a warning for our show. And I'm going to have a warning for all of our shows, and I'm going to get smoother. I'm going to talk to our tech guy, Carlos, to figure out exactly how, or Melissa, to figure out like how I started, so I don't have these blank spots and me going, so don't worry, we'll get better. But the warning for our show is might make you laugh, might make you cry, might make you have stronger faith, might make you balance on things, might make you do things you are afraid to do right now. Anyway, so our show is always going to have a warning with Fearless Gray because we're pushing the limits as we head past 50. How are you today? So yesterday we touched, we're in the middle of Friendship Week, and yesterday we touched on the different types of friends as far as like friends for a reason, friends for a season, or friends for a lifetime. So if you missed that show, you might want to head back to yesterday's show on the Bubbler. It's there, or it's also, and check it out. And we had lots of interesting observations about how some friends are in your life for like a reason, like to help you through something, or to have fun at that moment. Some friends are in your life for like a season, for like your kids are in school while you work. So it's like a longer period of time, and some are lifetime friends. And some friends, kind of cross the boundaries back and forth. Anyways, check it out. But today I wanted to talk about, is your husband your best friend? And how do you make him your best friend? If you've been, or your husband or your significant other, your spouse. I think like when you get to be Fearless Gray age, a lot of like the thinking about friendship is kind of a loneliness. And I don't think women can replace girlfriends' friendships, that endorphins we get when we're with girlfriends. And I also don't think men can replace like the friendships that they have with men when they just do guy stuff, which I believe just means sitting together, drinking beer, watching a sport, or doing a sport. I'm not sure. Guys, please comment below. Just kidding. But, so I don't think we can, you can't have your life without, if you're a woman, having girlfriends, or a man having, your guy friends. But I think so many people who are in a marriage, like there's still a loneliness sometimes in the house because you've been through, your first, let's say 25, 20, 30 years together, and you've raised a family, or you've started your careers, and you kind of start to take each other for granted, and you have to really put focus on, your family or your career, and you just kind of, sometimes you start to live like this parallel life with your spouse. And it's not that you even have problems or difficulties, it's just like you're not being a friend to each other as much as you could. So I did a little research today, because of course I'm not married right now, but if I were, I would put these in place. And I think just, because if you're really close with your spouse or your significant other, it can really take away the loneliness that can exist in the Fearless Gray age. And I think if you have like a good relationship with your spouse or your husband or your wife, that you can also take that out in the community and be friends to other people who are going to need it. So I came up with 9 ways that you can be like reignite the friendship that you have with your spouse. Let's just we'll call them a spouse, but you know what it means, that person. So here are the 9 ways you can ignite and reimpassion your friendship. Number 1 is be kind. When you first start dating someone, or how you treat your friends, there's just like a kindness. And I think sometimes when we start to live with someone for so long, I feel like this even with my kids sometimes, like you're less kind, like, when I get in the room to go get myself a drink, just offering, does anybody want anything? And sometimes you just get so in your own patterns of life that you just don't think about the little, very small, kind gestures that can really have a big impact on your relationship. So number 1 is be kind. Number 2 is spend time together. I think, I know like we get these lives and they're so busy, and a lot of times that we're raising a family and we're making our career and we're involved in our community, busy, 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 busy. And then we get to Fearless Gray, we're like, a little bit bored here. And this is, the time to like start spending time together. And I think a little bit of the problem maybe with spending time together is you probably start out when we're dating and getting to know each other, and we have similar interests because that's how we met. And then sometimes like those interests that drew us together become less in our life because we don't have time for them. So it's, maybe thinking about like, what were the things you like to do together when you first were together? Or maybe you've changed, and like, what are the new things each of you like to do together? And can you have a shared or common interest in each other's new interests? So 2 is spend time together. So be kind, spend time together. Number 3 is, and that kind of ties into number 2, is take interest in the things they do. So let's say that your husband got into fishing while you were married, and it like bores you out of your mind perhaps. Well, how could you take interest in that? Maybe you like to read, so you could go along and read when he's fishing. Or maybe you could take interest by just listening to him talk about his fishing lures or talk about the fish he caught. You don't even have to go along, but if you take interest, as opposed to like when he comes home and tells you what fish he caught, and you're like, great, thanks. Did you know what else? So just learning to listen. And men, this goes for you too. So whatever interest your wife have taken on, learn to like, maybe even just like if you start asking questions about what they're interested in, as opposed to just like letting it come in one way and out the other. And you might be surprised that you find like, start to become interested in the same things. Number four is have fun together. I really think like sometimes life gets so busy that we forget to have fun and laugh. And, we're taking care of our families and we're, taking care of our house and, we have our community to take care of and maybe our family and our relatives need us outside family. And we stop having fun. And the problem is, I think, like, if you become running these parallel lives, like you forget, how am I going to have fun together? So, I think what you need to do is maybe start thinking about how did you have fun? Again, what did you do when you first started dating? Or try new things, like try going to things that are, I don't know, like if there's let's say a free festival in your city and you've never been to it, go to it. Like just start trying and then you'll kind of find your groove of having fun together. Number 5. Okay, this one will push you. I think this one is fearless to do for some couples. And it is pray together. And I know my parents were telling me, like some friends of theirs were saying like their relationship has never been better once they started praying together, which I think is probably really difficult for some people. But like I know like some of my friends, and I've been in times where like I was in prayer groups with my girlfriends, but like I really never sat down with my husband and like let's pray together. Even though if you think about it, if you just get down, if you just pray together about the people that are really important to the both of you, that's a really simple prayer to start. Like your parents, your relatives, your kids, your friends, careers, financial concerns. So just start praying together. Again, I think that's a little bit high on our fearless scale, but I think the rewards of trying it might be really good. Number 7, try new things. So you each have your own separate interests, but what if you started trying new things together? Like, let's say, took an art class together. You could do that online with my friend Cindy Harrison. Or what if you started doing like a new sport together, or even just like walking together? Maybe you never walked. Maybe you got a pet for the first time together. So, trying new things together, you don't have to have like take interest in each other's separate interests if you don't want, if you're finding new things to do together. Number 7, the art of surprise. I forgot, I don't actually have the real facts what I was reading though, but I read something this week about like how important like gift and surprising are in like a relationship and like your kids and like how they have long lasting impact. And I think like the gift of surprise can be so simple. Like if your husband or wife or spouse wasn't expecting you to do like just even pick up at the house when they came home, or go out and buy them just a little drink on your way home. Like the art of surprise, I think like really binds us together emotionally, because not only is it surprise, but it's also it's an act of kindness, which is again number 1, because you're taking the time to do something surprising, and it turns out to be an act of kindness too. Number 8, forgive. After so many years together, there's so many things that you can be angry about, and if you don't let them go, it's not hurting your spouses as much as it's hurting you. And by forgiving and freeing yourself of that anger, you're going to be happier and less lonely with your spouse, because you're going to have a better relationship. So I really think number 9 seems like you're doing it for your spouse, but I really feel like forgiveness is always first and foremost an act of kindness to yourself. Number 9. Now this one I added on my own. I didn't find it in any of my research, but give them time in the house alone. Like yesterday we went out to dinner with some new friends, and they were saying, oh, the husband was going to be gone for the weekend. He's joking. Like, oh yeah, she'll be home sobbing. And she's like, yeah, tears of joy because I get in the house alone. And it made me remember like how great it is when you just get a few hours alone in your house and how it makes you so happy. So I think the 9th thing that you can do for your spouse is like be out of the house sometimes. Like let them be in the house alone, and just not that they're going to do anything. It's just that feeling of, like, oh, I'm owning my own space right now. So those are 9 things. Again, like I think your husband or spouse, they they can be your best friend and a source of like they're there and they'll take care of the loneliness. I don't think they can ever replace like a woman friendship. I don't think a wife can replace a guy's friendship. But I think learning how to be a friend with your spouse as opposed to parallel lives can be life-changing for all of us. Anyways, our flamingo lingo of today is flamingos for life. Anyways, you have a great day. Thanks for stopping by today again. Remember, you don't want to miss Fearless Gray Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 9:38 Central Standard Time. If you put on your notifications from Barbara Media, you won't miss my show. And also, just remember to turn in. I'd love to hear your comments. Next week, I'm going to work on, so next week, my son is the last week before he goes to college. I'm like, what the hell? How'd that happen? So I'd love to start, I'm going to start gathering comments about things you should have taught your kids before they left the house. And do a few shows on that. Anyways, have a great day. Flock on. I need like a flock on, woo. So if anybody has any ideas for like our flock on, I'd love to see them. Bye-bye.